Wizards, welcome back. It's Mooner, and yesterday I made a tier list, and it got cut off. I wanted to share with you guys my Kano Blitz list. This is just a pure arcane Kano. I know there's like a hybrid list running out there. I don't really care for that list. I've tested it a bunch, but it just really feels bad when you're trying to do Kano things and you just hit a attack action like a Fendel's Fighting Spirit off the top or anything. I understand, like, it's kind of like Emperor with blues, but I mean, Emperor has a completely separate game plan, and I don't know. If so, I prefer the pure Kano lists. And now that we have this Blitz change, and we have the addition of one extra card and the ability to sideboard, I figured I would go over my thoughts and what changes we could make to this list. So I have a lot extra in here, but that's just because I want to discuss a few cards. So as far as weapons and equipment is concerned, I don't think that any of this can come out, and for two reasons. I don't think we can take out Tunic. I don't think we can take out Crown of Providence, and this is generally my primary equipment suite. Obviously running Crucible, Metacarpus, Rags, Spellfire Cloak, and Storm Striders. But this new change is going to allow for a lot more fatigue lists out there, and a lot more lists that are going to be running a lot, more than 40 cards, and they're just going to try to fatigue you and run you out of your deck and that. So we absolutely 100% still need Tunic in some of these matchups. And Wizards are still out there, and we have to respect other Kanos. So Alluvian and Waning Moon have to stay in, unfortunately. So we're left with not too many sideboard slots that we can actually add. But here's my thoughts. Okay, so Nourishing needs to stay in, and I think that if you can't beat them, join them. So we might as well add an Oasis in there. Now, there's two other cards that I want to talk about, and that is Scour and Tome of Fendel. These are two cards that I did not run in my previous lists. I'm not real high on Tome of Fendel for a couple of reasons. One, it blocks two. Two, it's meant for slow matchups, in my opinion. It's only good for matchups where you have to pitch stack, or you can get it in the arsenal and gain the life off of it. Other than that, the card is kind of meh to me. It's just always been an underperformer, unless you are pitch stacking, obviously, or you're getting into those slow matchups like against the Guardians, or like these Fatigue Iras and Fatigue Boltons and things like that, where you can get it in the arsenal, gain the life, or pitch stack. So Tome of Fendel is at the top of my list for the sideboard, and one Oasis Respite is at the top of my list for the Kano matchup, as well as it's really good into like Azuri and Guardian, and it's just, I mean, if we have the option to run an Oasis, why not run an Oasis? I think Nourishing stays in the deck always, but I think Chain is going to be a big problem. I've been playing into some really nasty Chain lists, and Vincent also. Being able to scour away her rune chance is massive. In, like, you get rid of her rune chance, and then she can't rune gate, and then her turn is pretty much fucked. So I think Scour is also a big consideration for sideboard here. So Scour might be a card that I just straight up main board, and I don't know what I would want to cut for that. I'm thinking of cutting either Sap or Prognosticate, so that we can run 2 copies of Scour in the main board, and then 2 copies of Tome of Fendel in the sideboard. Other than that, all of these cards serve a very specific function, and I don't want to cut any of them. I am still super high on Mind Warp. I think that in the fast aggro matchups, this card is a way over performer. If you can hit it off of a Aether Flare, it's just devastating. I don't want to cut Mind Warp Chain Lightning is a option for a cut for me, because Chain Lightning makes the deck really, really fast and also lets you combo in a couple different ways. Watch some of my other videos on how I combo with Chain Lightning. But currently I am running 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 reds in the main board here. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 blues, which is where I think we should be at with blues, honestly. So if we're going to cut anything, I think Chain Lightning is a cut, and then Tomo Fendo stays in the sideboard for these grindy, slow matchups, these fatigue matchups, where we're going to have to pitch stack. But even in those matchups, Chain Lightning really shines. So I don't really know what to cut here. I might go down to 1 red Emeritus, or 1 red Aether Quickening. So I might cut a red Aether Quickening and a red Emeritus, to be honest, because I don't want to go below 20 blues. I think 20 blues is where we need to be. And there aren't any whiffs in the deck other than Emeritus and, Nourishing and Oasis. So this is like, this is all still like a work in progress, but I just wanted to show you where my deck was at right now. And currently I'm at 5 main board, 40 equipment, so 5, so 10, 46. So I am 5 cards over. So I'm sorry, 4 cards over. So 4 cards need to come out of this list, and I just want you guys opinions and perspectives on this if you guys have any ideas. But currently I think Chain Lightning, 1 copy of red Emeritus, and maybe 1 copy of Aether Quickening, but that all kind of feels bad. Emeritus are one of our biggest win cons, getting Emeritus into Arsenal as soon as possible. Rags Blazing, that's 17 damage plus whatever you can hit off the top if you've got an E-Pod out or something like that, or a handful of blues. But that's like, and then Nourishing, obviously, with Prism in the meta. I think you definitely need at least 1 popper, and then also you can target any of our angels with Nourishing and get the benefit off of that. So Nourishing is just a huge over performer in my opinion, and I don't recommend cutting it. I absolutely am a true Nourishing believer. But do we really need Oasis? Is that like a thing? Should we be running it? I don't know. Like, I'm really torn right now. I just wanted to show you where my deck was at. And obviously it's 4 cards over, so 4 cards need to come out. But I do think that Scour is going to be a necessity with the boost that Chain is getting, and with Vincent, I think she's really strong. She's a dark horse in my opinion. So you're going to see her this season. So I think Scour needs to stay in. So what do we take out? Obviously, we're not taking out Sonic Boom or Lessons. And I don't want to take out Mind Warp. You guys could convince me to, but I'm going to fight you on it because I'm a really big Mind Warp believer, especially in Blitz. It obviously always automatically forces a card out of their hand no matter what. It's a 0 cost 2 off the top. It's just such a good card in my opinion, and it's been a huge overperformer. Do we go down to like 1 Emeritus blue and 1 Emeritus red? And I don't know. I want your opinion, but this is my list currently. As far as I'm concerned, the equipment options cannot change. They need to stay the same. But the deck, this is where my deck is at right here. So 2 Aether Flare, 2 Aether Quickening, 2 Blue Quickening, and the Spindle, Blazing Aether, 2 red and blue Emeritus, Nourishing, Oasis, Swell Tidings, Tome of Aetherwind, Chain Lightning, Lesson in Lava, Mind Warp, Sonic Boom, Tome of Fendel, Aether Dart, Energy Potions, Gaze the Ages, Potion. You can't cut Potion. Potion is just like I mean, Potion is absolutely fucking cracked in this deck. Prog, Sap, Scalding Rain, and Scour. So I think the Scours need to come in 100%. That'll take us to 20 blues. But, you know, hitting one off the top is kind of poo-poo in certain matchups. I only want to bring these matchups in against like Guardian. So you are going to see a lot of Fatigue Guardian running that chess piece, and being able to scour away their Seismic Surge tokens can be huge. This card has a whole lot of utility in this deck, in my opinion, in this current meta. And there's a whole lot of other auras and bullshit you can scour. You can scour a lot of Prisms bullshit. I think Scour is 100% a necessity, whether it's a main board or a sideboard card. That's to be determined. I need to test some more, but my cuts first, personally, my first cut is going to be Chain Lightning, although I really don't want to do it, and I think Tome of Fendel has to come in. So do we just not run Oasis and just YOLO it and just try to combo and kill as fast as possible, and, you know, disrespect Kano? But Oasis has a lot of potential to like really save our ass. I don't know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. I will link this deck list in the bottom. You guys can play around with it. It's been linked before. I've done a deck tech on this before. This deck is insanely powerful. I prefer it over the hybrid list. I've played the hybrid list a whole shitload of times. I just prefer this. I prefer the pure Kano list. So I don't know, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out, Wizards. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this list. What needs to come in, what needs to come out. What are we gonna do? All right.